The Bryan Mbeumo saga is finally over. Deal done, deal signed. Bryan Mbeumo is officially a Manchester United player. He's traveling with the team on tour to the United States. I'm super excited to hopefully see him get some minutes. Super excited to see him slot in that right 10 spot. And I'm just looking forward to seeing the dynamic of Mbeumo, Ahmad, Cunha, Bruno, all on the pitch at the same time. You can add Kobe in there as well. It was a long, long saga, but I am glad it is finally over and I can finally say that Bryan Mbeumo is a Manchester United player. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about what's next. Now that Ruben Amorim has got his left 10 and his right 10 sorted, the attention shifts to three positions in my opinion: the striker, the center midfielder, and the goalkeeper. For this video, I want to talk about potential 9 options that United could bring in to lead the line for United in the 25-26 season. We're also going to be dropping a video on midfielders that I would like United to go after. So if you're liking the content, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. I really appreciate it. But let's talk about potential strikers that could join Manchester United this summer. Right, so let's talk about it. So as of right now, this is what United could look like come opening day. I gotta be completely honest, I don't think that Ruben Amorim's idea is to play without a striker. I just think that he can be tactically flexible with what he has at his disposal right now. But again, the idea and the reports coming out from pretty reliable journalists is that Manchester United are still looking to bring in a number 9, still looking to bring in a keeper, which we're going to be making a video about as well, and then looking to bring in another center midfielder to either partner Bruno to play alongside Kobe. I'm not exactly sure what Ruben's idea is going to be. But for the sake of this video, there are 3 strikers that Manchester United are linked with that I think could be interesting. And I'm going to give my opinion on which one I would like to see join Manchester United the most. And I would love to hear in the comments what you all think. Let me know what striker you think Manchester United should bring to the Theatre of Dreams to play alongside Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. So let's start off with Benjamin Sesko. So the 22-year-old Slovenian striker has been linked with Manchester United in recent weeks. Obviously, at the beginning of this window, there were strong links for Benjamin Sesko to join Arsenal. As of today, Fabrizio dropped the "here we go" with Viktor Gyökeres going to Arsenal, so that's done. They've got their number 9 sorted. Benjamin Sesko has entered the list of names that Manchester United are apparently discussing internally for number 9s they would be interested in bringing to Old Trafford. So in the Bundesliga last season, he scored 13 goals and assisted 5. This is an interesting target. I am not going to lie, out of the 3 strikers in this list, Benjamin Sesko is the striker I have watched the least, as I watch more Premier League football than I watch Bundesliga. But this is obviously an intriguing name that's been thrown around, and the idea and the potential of signing a Benjamin Sesko, I don't think anybody can deny is an exciting prospect. Now, there have been many in-depth videos on the profile of Benjamin Sesko, obviously a really tall and athletic footballer. I think under the right management, he is somebody who can grow to become an absolute phenomenon, kind of like a Hugo Ekitike. I think all the physical attributes are there. I think these are, really special profiles at the 9 position. And I think as they continue to grow and develop, the potential really is for these to be absolute world beaters, for these to be number 9s at the highest level of the game. There are 2 reasons why I'm not so sold on the idea of Benjamin Sesko to Manchester United. Number 1 for me is age. Manchester United took a massive gamble on Rasmus Højlund when they signed him from Atalanta. They spent a nice amount of money on a striker who, again, was an exciting prospect, someone who they thought they could bring to Manchester, mold him into this defined 9 who was going to score goals, who was going to link play, and was going to be the striker for Manchester United for the next 8 to 10 years. As we all know, those plans haven't necessarily gone the way that United and United fans thought. that's essentially the reason that Manchester United are looking to bring in a new number 9. Again, it's not all bad with Sesko. I think his athleticism, his ability to run into channels, it would be an exciting prospect, especially with two really good creators in Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo. I just think that you need to look for someone who's a little bit more prolific, a little bit more experienced. And when you look at the price tag that is being thrown around for what Leipzig would want any club to pay for a Benjamin Sesko, I just don't necessarily know if it's the wisest move, especially regarding the fact that United still need to look to bring in a center midfielder, and in my opinion, still need to look to bring in a goalkeeper as well. So Benjamin Sesko could be an exciting option. However, there are reports that although they are discussing him internally, the price point may be a reason that they don't look to bring the Slovenian striker in. The next name on the list that Manchester United could potentially bring to Old Trafford this summer is Jean-Philippe Mateta. This one is another really interesting one for me. Last season in the Premier League, he scored 14 goals. And again, I think probably a underrated player, probably an underrated name in the Premier League. I think that he could add a lot of value to what Manchester United are looking to do in the front line. Again, I think this is a good number 9. I think for the right price point, this could be an option for Manchester United. And for me, with all these strikers that are available right now, realistically, he would probably be my second choice. I think he's a good option. I think he's proven that he can score goals in the Premier League at a good age. I personally wouldn't mind if Manchester United went and brought in a Jean-Philippe Mateta. So I know this isn't going to be the most popular opinion. I know it's not the flashiest name, probably not the most exciting name. But for me, if Manchester United are going to sign a striker, if you can get him at the right price, I would look to bring in Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins had 16 goals and 8 assists in 38 Premier League games last season. And although he's not the flashiest, he's not the most rapid, for me, he's shown time and time again that he can score goals consistently in the Premier League. And I think for right now, Manchester United need consistent goal scoring. I spoke about it last season, how Manchester United were in a position where they were oftentimes creating chances and the goals were not coming, and it was a massive issue. I actually think defensively, Manchester United looked pretty sound for majority of parts last season. I thought especially in the bigger games against the bigger teams, I thought Ruben Amorim really did a good job of setting his team up well defensively. But when Manchester United got the chances to score, I think there were often times where they weren't clinical enough, and that's where they were dropping points. And I think if you can bring in an experienced striker, a striker who has proven that he can play in the Premier League, I think that there can be some success there. Obviously, the questions are, do you want to bring in a striker that turns 30 years of age in December? And I think that is a completely fair argument to make. I just think the reality is that Manchester United right now have a pretty young attack, and I think there could be a lot of benefits bringing in an experienced striker, even if it is just for a couple of years. You know, you could have Xerxes and potentially even Rasmus, even though I believe that Rasmus may be leaving this summer. You can have the attackers learn from him, from a striker who has proven that he can do it in the Premier League. He's an England international. I think, again, and this is what it comes to down the most, if the price is right, then you go and you make a signing like an Ollie Watkins. Look, for me, none of these are bad signings. They all have potential upside and they all have potential downside, just like any signing you're ever going to make. But I also do think that the reality is Manchester United, they need to get this one right. They need to have a number 9 who's going to be reliable and who's going to score goals consistently. I think your number 9 in the Premier League should be scoring minimum 15 goals. If your team, and I'm not saying that Manchester United are going to challenge because obviously we're far away from that, but if you're a team that's looking to have success in the league campaign, your striker needs to be able to score at a consistent rate. And again, for me, Ollie Watkins has shown that he can score at a consistent rate. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Which one of these 3 would you pick? If there is a name that's not currently heavily linked to Manchester United that you would love to see join the team this summer, let me know who that striker is. Again, as always, if you are liking the content, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. That's all for this one though. Until next time, peace.